Hello cardboard lovers, it's Cardboard Badger here. I hope you're doing well, and today we have for you a brand new standard legal deck tech with cards from Ikoria, LAIR of BEHEMOTHS. We're going Orzhov this time, and the name of the deck is Kudro's Exile Army. I'm not even going to explain what is going to be going on, but I'm sure you will start to notice a pattern and how the cards work together as we go through the deck tech. So, that being said, we're going to get straight into it, starting off with our creatures. We have a full playset of Hero of Precinct 1. For 1 and a white, we have a Human Warrior 2/2 with whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. So that's the most important thing to take on board. If it's multicolored, and there's a lot of them in this deck, we are going to be making an additional token, which means an additional creature entering the battlefield and obviously exiting too, and is going to help with some of the other cards in the deck to help us towards our alternative win condition. So, 4 copies of. Next, we have 2 copies of Worthy Knight. For 1 and a white, we have a Human Knight 2/2, and whenever you cast a Knight spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. So now, if it happens to be a Knight, if it happens to be multicolored, we've got creatures that will enable us additional token generation, which again is going to make the board really, really wide, and it will enable lots and lots of triggers as they enter and exit the battlefield. And here is a good example. We have a playset of Corpse Knight. It is a Knight. It is multicolored. So there you have it. As you can see, lots and lots and lots of triggers are going on. If you're going to be playing this deck in paper, you are going to need a huge amount of tokens. That is my handy hint for the moment. Yeah, Corpse Knight, always love this card. 2 mana, white and a black. We have a Zombie Knight. It's a 2/2, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses a life. Again, lots and lots of tokens appearing in addition to our actual creatures, which are going to drain and ping away at our opponent 1 life at a time. And it doesn't take long, to be honest. Anyway, Corpse Knight, 4 copies of. Up next, we have another playset, a full playset of Cruel Celebrant. For a white and black mana, we have a Vampire 1/2. Again, it is multicolored, so you can now see just how quickly, hopefully, we can generate a lot of 1/1 tokens. The Vampire, whenever Cruel Celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Up next, we have 2 copies of General's Enforcer. For 2 mana, white and a black, we have a Human Soldier 2/3 with legendary humans you control have indestructible. We do have some legendary humans, so the General is super important to us. And also for 4 mana, 2 white and a black, we can exile a target card from a graveyard, any graveyard, and if it was a creature card, we get the chance to create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Our next creature, we have 1 copy of Syndicate Guildmage. For 2 mana, 1 white and black, we have a Human Cleric 2/2, and for 1 and white, we can tap the Cleric and tap target creature with power 4 or greater. This is super important because big flyers, big mutate creatures, lots of trample. This is good just to tap down the biggest threat our opponent has. Also, 5 mana, 4 and black. We can tap it, and Syndicate Guildmage deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Really, really good, although very expensive, just to ping that additional bit of damage to maybe get rid of a Teferi or something. So, 1 copy of Syndicate Guildmage. Next, we have 2 copies of Wintermoor Commander. For 1 white and 1 black mana, we have a Human Knight. It's a 2-something. Its toughness is equal to the number of knights you control. This is normally going to obviously be at least a 1, but for most of the time, it's going to be a 2/2 or a 2/3. It's got Death Touch, which is super important. Obviously, it's multicolored and it's a knight, so we've got the opportunity with some of the earlier cards to get multiple 1/1 token generation going on, and also when Wintermoor Commander attacks, another target knight you control gains indestructible until the end of turn. Great card indeed. It's now time for the General. We have 2 copies of General Kudro of Drannich. For 3 mana, 1 white and a black, we have a legendary creature, Human Soldier. He is a 3/3 with other humans you control get +1/+1. So straight off, all our tokens are now 2/2s, which is excellent stuff. Also, whenever General Kudro of Drannich or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. So If we've got this down early, everything else that comes in, all those humans, are going to slowly exile stuff from our opponent's graveyard. And that is seriously important for the card coming up next. Also, for 2 mana, we can sacrifice 2 of those humans, possibly gain and drain some life if we've got a Cruel Celebrant out, and we can destroy a target creature with power 4 or greater. So we can get rid of that massive flyer, we can get rid of that mutate creature, we can get rid of some massive tramply beast. Amazing, amazing card indeed. Up next, we have the alternative win condition. We have 2 copies of Kaya, Orzhov Usurper. For 3 mana, 1 white and a black, we have a legendary Planeswalker Kaya at 3 loyalty. The +1, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. You gain 2 life if at least 1 creature card was exiled this way. -1, exile target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less. And you can probably see what we're doing alongside General Kudro here. -5, this is the big payoff. Kaya, Orzhov Usurper, deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns in exile, and you gain that much life. Next, we have 1 copy of Lurrus of the Dream Den. For 3 mana, 1 and then hybrid white-black, white-black. We have a legendary creature, Cat Nightmare. It's a 3/2 with lifelink, and it is a nightmare. We're not obviously having it as our companion, but this 1 copy, if we see it, is absolutely disgusting. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. We're just going to keep replaying anything that we happen to have in our graveyard. Obviously, most of it is going to be multicoloured, which will then enable us more triggers. We will have more things entering the battlefield as far as tokens, which will then enable Kudro to exile more stuff from our opponent's graveyard. And with things entering and exiting the battlefield, we're going to be gaining and draining life. Up next, we have 2 copies of Luminous Broodumh. Witness the value! Look at this. For 4 mana, 2 white-white, we have an insect. 3/4 flyer. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it. So basically, all of our things that die, apart from the tokens, they are going to come back again. They are going to enter the battlefield. They are going to trigger lots of things. We're going to gain and drain. We're going to make 1/1 humans. Those humans are going to, thanks to Kudro, are going to exile more stuff out of our opponent's battlefield. And they've all got wings. We are now on our final creature, and it is mighty fine. We have 2 copies of Teysa Karlov. Always love this card. For 4 mana, 2 white and a black, we have a legendary creature, Human Advisor, a 2/4. And if a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So every time something dies, if it happens to mean us gaining a life and draining our opponent, it's going to happen twice. Also, creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink. So all those 1/1s that hopefully 2/2s, if we happen to have General Kudro out, all have vigilance and they all have lifelink. Amazing card indeed. 2 copies of. Next, we are going to be going through the non-creature spells, starting off with 2 copies of Kaya's Ghostform. For 1 black mana, we have an enchantment aura with enchant creature or planeswalker you control, and when enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. We also are going to be playing 2 copies of Disenchant. For 1 and white, we have an instant with destroy target artifact or enchantment. We are also going to be playing 2 copies of Pacifism. For 1 and white, we have an enchantment aura, enchant creature. An enchanted creature can't attack or block. Next, we have 1 copy of Revival Revenge. Revival. For 2 mana, hybrid white-black, white-black, we have a sorcery with a return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So apart from Luminous Broodumh and Teysa Karlov, everything is 3 and under, so we can scoop something back and replay it. Also, for 6 mana, 4 white and a black, we have Revenge, another sorcery with double your life total. Target opponent loses half their life, rounded up. Up next, another card from Ikoria, we have Bastion of Remembrance. We're playing 2 copies. It is 3 mana, 2 and a black for an enchantment. And when Bastion of Remembrance enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So again, additional soldiers, which is absolutely brilliant. And whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. We're also playing a tiny bit more removal. We have got 2 copies of Mortify for 3 mana, 1 white and a black. We have an instant with a destroy target creature or enchantment. And our final card before we hit the lands, we have got 1 copy of Oath of Kaya. For 3 mana, 1 white and black, we have a legendary enchantment with when Oath of Kaya enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life, which is pretty good on its own for 3 mana. And whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with 1 or more creatures, Oath of Kaya deals 2 damage to that player and you gain 2 life. And now for the lands. We have 24 in total, starting off with 1 copy of Castle Ardenvale. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control the planes, and for 2 white, we can tap it and create a 1/1 white human creature token. Also, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Godless Shrine, and other than that, we're going to be playing 11 planes and also 11 swamp. So there we have it. That is the entire deck tech. Kudro's Exile Army, our standard legal deck tech with cards from Ikoria, LAIR of Behemoths. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have done, please like, share and subscribe. It helps out the channel loads, as everyone says. Also, if you do want some more of the Cardboard Badger, have a look in the descriptions below. You'll be able to get in contact with us various places, various social media outlets. And yeah, we post stuff up every day, foils and various other bits and bobs, if that is your thing. Other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again soon here on Cardboard Badger.